Video has come to you for a very specific reason. It was sent to you from your highest self because you are destined for greatness. Feeling is a secret. Neville Goddard, my grandfather, trained with Neville Goddard, and he taught me this. And it's something that Neville Goddard went over about everything is you pushed out. And you need to understand this very, very clearly. I'm going to go over that with you in this video. There's a lot of confusion with what that means. The world is you pushed out. What does that mean? I don't even know, right? So a lot of people think that if you become loving, caring, and kind, that everybody in your reality is also going to be loving, caring, and kind. And that's what you're going to experience within your reality, but that's not true. It's everything that you consent to being true of your world. And I'm going to explain that to you in detail in this video. For example, say I was raised or somebody was raised in a family where they had teachers and parents that lived in lack, and they lived in poverty, and they believed that and created that identity or reality within their world. And they always told you it's very hard to be successful, it's very hard to make money, we're always in debt, and you have to cut corners everywhere you look in order to make ends meet or be able to survive. And your teachers are telling you this, and you're experiencing all this. You're actually seeing this happen within your reality, okay? That is everything that you consent to being true now, okay? And those are the barriers that we have to break through. Your limiting beliefs. We have to learn to let go of those things and recreate new beliefs and knowings, okay? Belief is, when you believe something, it doesn't really matter unless it's a 100% belief, and then it becomes a knowing, okay? Then you know that to be true within your reality, and that's what's pushed out, okay? So when you consent to your world being a specific way to where it's hard to make money, or it's hard to find good relationships, or it's hard to, to be happy, or it's hard to do this, it's hard to, whatever it may be. That's the world that's being created now, regardless of who you actually are, okay? That's the world that is pushed out into your reality and into the subconscious mind through your concept of yourself. And then it's pushed out into it transfers this whole identity within the fourth and fifth dimensions within time space into that reality that mirrors everything that you consent to being true. All right, so remember that. That is essentially what that means, okay? And how you break free from that is through visualization and through revision and through developing your attention and changing this and creating new knowings within yourself. That's really the magic of this whole thing that Neville Goddard was teaching, and that's what visualization actually does. And by the way, guys, super quick break from the video, but if you're interested in working directly with me and my team to get yourself to the highest level, there's a link in the description at the very top. Click on that and apply, and we'll send you the best program to get you to the highest level as fast as possible. I love you guys, and let's get back to the video right now. Within the simulation, like climbing the ladder when you go to sleep, okay? When you climb a ladder or you count $100 bills or $50, whatever your native currency is, you start counting money as you're going to sleep at night, and all of a sudden this money starts coming into your world, out of nowhere, because you're falling asleep counting it. What does that do? It creates a knowing that you can create with your imagination, which is actually how it is created from within. But that creates a knowing within you, okay? So once that happens and you start seeing the glitches within that, it changes what you consent to being true. And now you have that capability to where you can do it again even easier, because now you know you can create things simply by imagining them and going to sleep, doing something, feeling something to be true, and then it happens to you. And that's why visualization, whatever you're visualizing, trying to create into your reality, say, whatever it may be, you're trying to move to a new house, a new city, a new country, whatever it may be, and you visualize yourself being there, and you imagine it, and it's so real to you, and you feel that you're there, right? You shock the positron, or you feel yourself in it, and you accept that from that event in the first person as if it's already happened to you and you fall asleep with that, what does that do? It impresses that knowing into the subconscious of something new that you consent to being true of your world. Or if you were to visualize all these people in your life that are just tremendous and abundant, your family's doing great, your friends are successful, everybody is just on the top of their game, and you feel that to be true and you fall asleep with that, then you start to change what you consent to being true about everyone within your reality, okay? But you also have to remember that everyone is, the consciousness and the world in which you live is non-dual, okay? It's only one, okay? So when you start to visualize and consent to new things being true, especially about people, it might not be the same person that is in your life, but like if it's a relationship or it's, it could be something similar to that, like a friendship. You could lose that friend and another friend comes into your reality because we're all one energy. It's interconnected. They may look different, but they're going to be different people based on the new changes that you've just made within yourself. Okay? Like Neville Goddard said, don't try to change people, change yourself, and then your world will reflect that change. Okay? It doesn't mean that if you're in a horrible relationship where you're being abused, that you start visualizing this person not abusing you or being tremendously great and just turn their whole life around, and then you try to stay with that person and work it out. Okay? That doesn't mean that. What that means is when you visualize yourself feeling and consenting to something being true other than the way that it was before that, it's going to cause you to do something to get away from that person, or it's going to cause that person to just go away from you. And then another person will come in that'll identify as that based on, your ultimate beliefs and what you consent to being true of how that could logically happen within your reality. Okay? So remember that too. It doesn't mean that you should stay with someone that's abusing you or anything like that. It means that when you start visualizing this person being so much better, it could bring someone else in. It could give you an idea to where you're no longer going to be with this person, and you decide you make the right moves and you get away from it, or they do change. It's a possibility too that they could actually change, but it doesn't mean that. Okay, so the world is you pushed out, and that is a very powerful part of the world in which you live and how you're manifesting things. It's like the most important thing to understand, really. And as you understand this, you start to realize, as you start to change the knowings about people and places and money and jobs and relationships within your identity, and you start visualizing these things start to change, you'll notice that when a knowing happens, that it literally takes people out and brings new people in. You start to take different action that you didn't even know you were taking, and it just creates this identity in this world that kind of just comes to you, that starts to show and reflect and mirror these new knowings that you have. Okay, so remember that it's not about you. Just the world is you pushed out is not just mirroring back who you are as an individual. It's mirroring back everything that you consent to being true, what you know to be true of your reality. Okay. That's essentially what it is. And it's not just a halfway belief. It's like it was stated in the Bible, the faith of a mustard seed. A lot of people think that's a small amount of belief or faith, but it's really 100%, because a mustard seed is only conscious of being a mustard seed and no other seed. Okay? So remember that as we move forward through this, with this new reality that we're creating, it's what you consent to being true of everyone within your reality. And how you change that is through revision, through visualization, and then identifying things within your reality and creating new beliefs and knowings about people, places, money, abundance, and everything within your reality through visualizing, seeing yourself and other people being happy and abundant. And it's easy to make money. It's easy to have great relationships, easy to get what you want. And then that world has to reflect back to you from the subconscious, okay? So that is Everything Is You Pushed Out 101. I love you guys. And we'll get deeper into this, and through the school community, I'm going to talk more about this in the live events. So, and that link is in the description if you want to join. We do 2 live events a week. And we do a mastermind, a Zoom too, once a month. We're doing the master key system. I love you guys, and we'll get deeper into that. I love you guys. Leave your comments about how you feel about that. If you understand that, you want me to elaborate, you want me to expound. I'll probably do it anyways, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the box below, because I read all the comments. Just because I don't reply to them doesn't mean I don't read them. I love the comments, and I read every single comment. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.